right, we are here at my tiny traveling worm bin, and the last time we were in here, we started our ping pong feedings, and we also put in some unique things, and you're starting to see one of those, and that is some leaves that we got on our hike. Now, besides these leaves, there's something else I want to check in the feeding zone, and that is some cinnamon sticks, along with some other stuff that I'll talk about. What I'm going to do is set these to the side. I'm going to put them into the next feeding side, which is over here, because I believe we fed on this side, and it actually makes sense because there's a little bit of a downward divot down here from what we fed. So let's just kind of scrape the surface here, and immediately we're already seeing some beautiful worms. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of scrape some of this from the edges that's just a little bit drier, but the moisture is actually feeling good so far on the top. But let's go ahead and dig right down here. Now, what we put down here was some strawberry tops, along with some large coffee filters and a bunch of coffee, some remnants of some baked potatoes that we had, and some mulling spice, along with the wrapper and those cinnamon sticks that I was talking about. And of course, we added some amendments. And all that stuff in there was from our trip up to the Blue Ridge Mountains that we went with our 3 boys, our one son's wife, along with the girlfriends of the other boys. And as I'm kind of going in here, I'm getting the mulling spice tea bag, and I don't think the string is going to kind of make it through here. I think it's synthetic, so I'll take that out. And it looks like they've left a lot of kind of the paper stuff that we had in here. So let's try and dig down and see what they've got. And right here is, I think this is some of the napkin or paper towel that we put in, and also had some coffee on it. So I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. And what I think I'll try and do is we'll try and uncover everything that's in here, and then we'll put it right back in here so each of our feeding zones stays the same. And this right here is the cinnamon stick, and if you look, I think right down there are some mites. I'll just hold still and maybe we can do a quick time lapse to see if that's what those are. Oh yeah, sure enough, those are mites, and I also see a couple of potworms in there as well. Definitely feels more moist because I can kind of squeeze it back and forth, but it is still kind of rigid, so we're going to be bearing that back up. And let me kind of dig down here. Now, unfortunately, I probably should have put a glove on this left hand because I am going to the left side here. Your left, my right, but the coffee filter that we have in here, I think is still there, as this feels like that's what that is. And you know what? Actually, no. This right here is potato skin. That's what that is right there. They ate all the flesh but left the potato skin. And again, here's another one. Here is another cinnamon stick. Oh, right down in here. I'm feeling a lot of the coffee. We put in whole coffee filters, which I usually do not put in because we have a Keurig that doesn't use coffee filters because we grind our own beans, and I'm not seeing much of anything else other than a lot of the paper that was in there. So we're going to go ahead and rebury all that along with those coffee pieces that I see, those coffee grounds. And there certainly are a lot of worms in here, but I don't see like a congregation or, like a ton of worms in one spot. And that's probably because there wasn't a whole lot of food. It was mostly the, kind of mulling spice wrapper and the coffee filter, that kind of thing. So I think with this next feeding, what we have in mind is a whole lot of food scraps because we just got done hosting 11 college students. They were down here for the Gasparilla Parade, which has been hosted since 1904, and basically it's a mystical pirate, Jose Gaspar, and his crew of pirates that sail across Tampa Bay, and they demand the mayor surrender the keys to the city, and everyone in town dresses as pirates and throw a big parade celebrating their victory. So that's what these 11 college students did, is dressed up as pirates and went downtown and had a good time. And that's also why we are called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for our NFL team. So down here, we don't see anything, nothing from previous feedings, that kind of thing, but definitely a mix of worms throughout. So clearly they ate all the food, and now they're just kind of equally spreading out along the bin. So let me dig through everything in the middle and over to this side, and then we'll start our feeding. So I would say that this bin is probably 2/3 of the way being done. You can see there's a lot of individual shredded cardboard pieces in here, and there's a lot of worm castings, so that is great. The moisture level is really good. It's not getting so moist that it's kind of muddy or soupy, so we want to try and keep it that way by continuing to put in some more shredded cardboard. So let's start with that right down here on the bottom, and then we're going to take our leaves that we had, and I'm just going to kind of rip them up, and we're going to put those in the bottom as well. Unfortunately, I think we're going to find that these sticks right here are going to last a long time. Alright, so now let's go in with our feeding. This is what we had in mind. This is a pretty big stalk of lettuce, but no fear, they're going to be done with that in probably about 4 days. And then we've got a crowd favorite here. This is an avocado shell, and we'll fill that with some tomato top, some strawberry top, a cucumber slice, and some green pepper. And we'll just add the rest of the scraps in. And like I said, we had 11 college students in, so of course they produced a lot of these, some toilet paper rolls, and then a lot of napkins and paper towels. So I'm just going to rip these up, and we will situate these in there as well.
Oh shoot.
What?
Amendments first.
Oh, yeah.
You can just put it to the side.
On top. So one of the things I forgot was amendments, but no worries, we're just going to put them right on top. And when I bury them up with everything here, that'll help to moisturize everything. We'll also go in with some coffee grounds, and these coffee grounds have some good mold on them, so that's helping to break them down for the worms. And then we'll go in with our eggshell grit. Now the worms absolutely love eggshell grit, so that will also probably help them come up and go from everywhere else in the bin to this side right here. So there we go. Now we have an official ping pong feeding because we fed one side and now we have fed the other. So I'm just going to continue to put a bunch of material here, and I bet when we come back in we're going to see kind of a divot over here compared to, you know, the side over here. Maybe not as far down as we saw before because we just have a lot of material here, but this is looking really good. So in we go with our newspaper that we keep on top right there. Actually, you know what? I think we'll turn this over just like that, and then we'll put our bubble wrap on it, which helps to keep the moisture in the bin. And this is the 5th iteration of this bin, I think. So if you want to see how I start worm bins, go ahead and check out this video right here. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope your worm bins are doing well. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.